kind of hard to go at a team back-to-back at their place, and, it's the last game of before All-Star break. But nevertheless, Utah took care of business at home. They outplayed the Lakers in the paint, as you mentioned. Not knocking down your free throws, it really doesn't give you a chance. So, it was kind of a trap game. One game before the All-Star break. You've been playing great the last few weeks, but Utah weren't going to be defeated. No rim protection. That's with no AD in there, no Hayes, as you mentioned. It was layup city. So it's one of those games they have to throw it in the trash, go enjoy the break, come back and get back on track the way they were.
Yeah, Rob, the Jazz used a 20-2 run. I think the Lakers got it to within 4 or 5 there in that third quarter. It was that 20-2 run kind of opened up the game. And when you're not hitting free throws and you're just, given second possessions, it's hard to get back in it.
When you watch this game, when they cut it to 4, you're like, okay, we're right there. And there's like the Jazz turn it up. They got a couple of easy baskets. They had was it 4 or 5 dunks in a row?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what's going on? And they were all alley-oops. It was just back doors. It was simple basketball. Mm-hmm. And that goes to show you that you talk about All-Star break, you talk about guys not focused because the attention to detail wasn't there. And I'm sure that's something JJ will address. But little things like that get you caught up. And this is one of those games where you play on a team like the Utah Jazz, you got to win regardless of where you're at, because you look in the standings, you're right where you want to be. And so you got to keep that mental focus. And I know it's hard before the All-Star, but the teams who win championships stay focused and they win the games they're supposed to win.
And Brez, unfortunately, knew it would be tough coming into tonight because you're already down Gabe and Dorian Finney-Smith. You're talking about 2 of your better defenders. And then you don't plan on losing Jackson Hayes, but you lose him 7 minutes into the game, and he's actually off to a good start. Then it's tough.
Yeah. Alex Len, welcome to the Lakers. You've been here for like 10 minutes. You're going to have to play all this time because Hayes goes down in the first quarter. And yeah, like you mentioned, 2 of your good defensive stalwarts not playing in this game. Felt like a loss of attrition. They've been playing so well the last 3 weeks, James. They beat Boston, they beat the Knicks, they beat the Clippers, and then tonight happened. And I'm not going to say it was predictable. The Lakers were favored by 9. They should have beat this team. To your point, Rob, you got to beat the teams that are the bottom 1, 2, 3 in your conference. Didn't happen, but you almost can let it slip a little. Luka foul trouble. He's still getting acclimated after sitting out almost 7 weeks because of that calf injury. And the Lakers lost the hustle categories, the stocks category to be specific, 18-8. That's too big. You can't lose the steals and blocks that badly, Rob, and expect to be in the game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Jazz are 12-40. It's no big secret that they're struggling this year, also probably positioning themselves for Cooper Flag. But they are NBA players, and they have good, solid guys on their team. And tonight they came to play. Larry Markkinen, Collins, and Walker Kessler, who was talked a lot about before the trade deadline. Lakers just didn't have an answer for them, a heavy dose of pick and roll. Like Rob said, a lot of lobs. Larry Markkinen only had 17 2 nights ago, had 32. He's 11 of 18, hit 6 threes. John Collins, 17 on 5 of 9, and Walker Kessler, Lakers just couldn't get it going against him. 16, 8, and the 6 blocks. Big game. He was great in the paint, protecting it.
Yeah, I like Walker Kessler, man. He's rugged and get the job done, on the point category and rebound, and 6 blocks. Rim protected. That's almost unheard of. That's like Mutombo numbers right there. But, yeah, I mean, look, Luka coming to the Lakers, big deal. It's been a lot of attention surrounded it. It's also works for the advantage of the opponents too. So they get up. They say, "Oh my gosh, Luka is in LA, and they just beat us on the other night. They come to our place. Let's get up for them." And they were ready. And you had several players, as you just saw there, play phenomenal basketball. And the Lakers just could not find their footing. Especially after Hayes went down. I forgot that we didn't have Benny Smith or Gabe. But still, there were moments right there with LeBron and Luka still on the team, and other guys. And Reeves, Rui. They still should understand the significance of this game going into the break and try to nail it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
We didn't even talk about Clarkson, who had 21.
Yeah.
He's a plus 33. There's so many things that went wrong in this game. And as a player, there's certain things you got to understand. If you have an off shooting night, go to the rack. dribble, kick. Austin Reed was 1 for 10 from 3. He has a tendency to think the next shot is going to go in. That's fine and all, but sometimes you got to get your guys involved. You got to get to the paint. That's what you do best, is go in the paint. You get the and ones. And this is one of those games where guys were like, I feel like they was bullhead, like, oh, we're going to win this game because we just beat them. We're better than this team. This team is, fighting for the lottery. But you got to understand that each and every night, these guys are professionals. They can play. There's a reason they're in the NBA. It's not a reason they like floating around trying to get on the team. These guys are great guys. Think about it. They beat some good teams.
Yeah. And
especially in Utah, one of the toughest places to play. You gotta be focused when you go up in there.
I'm sure tomorrow night when they play the Clippers, then they'll be thinking about All-Star break. And, won't play as well.
We'll miss 11 threes and
a couple guys will sit.
Take one rebound. It's kind of funny because we talked about this before the game. Lakers had it lined up. They beat this Utah team. They go on the break. Pretty easy schedule to start. Coming back on the other side of the break, you got Charlotte here in LA. Then you go to Portland, who's playing better, but still bottom few in the West. Well, that gets punted a little bit, Geet, but still tremendous run up for this team going into the break. They were 10-1 in their last 11 before tonight. You can't be that upset about it. I do worry a little bit about this team against teams with guys who are good in the paint and have protection, rim protection. Walker Kessler, I never believed all the smoke that he might be getting traded, James. He's young. He's still on his rookie contract, and he's good.
Perfect 8 for 8, 16 points.
Yeah, so that to me was just a farce. Maybe the Lakers can get Walker Kessler. Yeah, I wasn't buying into that. The guy's young and a cheap contract, and he's really, really good, Geet.
How concerned are you guys about Jackson Hayes? Obviously he's going to have some time off now. Hopefully be good. But in terms of just, when you look at what the depth is now, when you lose a Jackson Hayes, then all of a sudden, James, it could really change the team.
Well, you lose a guy that's been used to playing with the rest of the players, and then you got to throw somebody else in there that might not have the same comfortability as he had. I think Hayes has been exceptional. I think he's been exceptional. Since AD's been out, been gone. Unfortunately, tonight he took a hard blow to the face. It was really, I don't know if that's in his nose or close to his mouth or whatever, but they do miss his energy. He flows well. The continuity is good with the starting lineup. So, yeah, even though he doesn't have that size as a rim protector, he's been our guy as far as, rebounding, alley-oops, and playing with that first unit mostly.
Yeah, when you see something like that, it's probably concussion protocol because it took him a while to get up. I'm not worried about him coming back. That was one of those hits where we've seen a former player take those same hits and come back. So I'm confident he'll be back and be his flaming hair self.
Yeah, this is all, if the Lakers had acquired a center at the trade deadline, which they thought they had, then Jackson's your backup. Sorry, he's your starter now.